I'm not trying to look cool. I babysat a kid. She had pink eye. It was a clean hit. I can't complain. Parents paid double. A couple things before we move on to the days of the week. A couple things I forgot to mention in the last video because I was showing these to a student earlier and he asked, okay, if we have mori here and we have garak here and I see these two hanja on a sign or something, does that mean that's like a hairdresser? Not so fast. What you might see a bit more frequently is me. That's the hanja for beauty. Me. Also, I want to clarify ipsul, together, those two syllables mean lips. Ip meaning mouth. Sul, the hanja itself, and just the syllable alone. That's going to mean alcohol, but together ipsul, not related to alcohol at all. It does mean lips, but just the whole you need your lips to drink alcohol thing, that helped me remember. Okay. Days of the week. Regardless of what language you use, they happen to you. And just like the body parts, we have some hanja, don't we? First of all, let's talk about ilyoil. Ilyoil. All right, so bit of a palindrome, right? We begin with il, we end with il. Il is a Swiss Army syllable used for so many different things. Oh my goodness. Means work, means incident, means number one in our Sino counting system. So the funny thing is on this end of the word, it means day. And over here, it is referencing the sun, which technically it's also referencing day, but in a different way. So we have the hanja for sun, il. That's what it looks like. So, day of the sun, sun's day, il. All right, let me say it one more time, il. I'll try and pronounce these each a couple times. Next, 월요일. Okay. 월. Wol is another hanja, means moon. And we got our moon symbol right here. You're going to see it in a lot of radicals. You see it, okay, at the beginning of this one, see it over here. You see the day radical in this one. And let's see. While I'm hunting for things, we see another moon radical down here. You know what? Long story short, you're going to see this quite a bit when reading pictographs. So we have 월요일, day of the moon. Okay. Next, Tuesday, 화요일. This first syllable, 화, means fire. Of course, this is the hanja for that. 화, it could literally mean fire. It also means like temper, anger. It can also mean change. So you'll see a lot of Korean words that begin with hwa, like hwa serves as a prefix that sort of tells us that that word deals with change of some kind. 화장실, bathroom. A lot of changes happen in the bathroom, don't they? Hua yo il, day of fire. You ready for the next one? Suyo il, suyo il, day of water. Suyo il, and of course this is the hanja for it. Su is like an old-timey word for water. In modern Korean, you're going to say mul. You're at a restaurant, you want to go, 물 좀 주세요. Please give me more water. 물 is the word that you're going to use. Same with while we're at hwa. In modern Korean, for fire, you're going to say 불. Okay. Now, you've probably picked up at this point, okay, we got the sun, we got the moon, and then from here on out, we're going to have like this last airbender thing going on where, okay, we had fire, we've had water, and next we have 목요일. 목요일 for Thursday. We've seen this syllable before. Over here. 목. So, of course, we got a hanja for throat, sure. But mok, sounding exactly the same in Korean. We also have the hanja for wood. So, mok, back in the day, also meant wood. Okay. We've got fire, water, wood. What do you think is next? What element? 금요일. 금요일. Friday. We have 금. This is a hanja for metal. So back in the day, okay, gum, it meant like metal in general. In modern Korean, gum specifically means gold. So 금요일. If you don't want to think of it as day of metal, you can think of it as day of gold. And that's when most people get paid. If that helps you remember, 금요일, day of gold. Or literally back in the day, it was just day of metal. All right, we got one more. So after fire, water, wood, metal, what could possibly be left? What could possibly be left? What could possibly be left? 토요일. 토요일. Okay, so to is this thing right here. It means earth as the element. It means earth in as much as like you dig through the earth, you dig through the soil. So it means like the ground, earth in that regard. There's a whole separate word for earth, the planet, that we're going to get to shortly. 토요일, day of earth, the ground, soil. Next, we've got some planets. Remind me, what does this first syllable sound like again? Su. Right. Su, some. Okay. Some. We've got a new syllable, don't we? Some. Sung means star. Like it's an old-timey word for star. You might hear byul in modern Korean. But back in the day when they were first discovering these planets and naming them, they thought they were stars. The name stuck. So just about every one of these celestial bodies, they're going to end in sung, except for, of course, the Earth and Moon. And here is the hanja for so. Suso, star of water. Because we got Su. We're bringing Su back. Suso, star of water. Next, Gumsong, Gumsong, star of metal. In fact, if you look at Venus, it sort of looks like molten metal, right? It looks like molten metal, at like a forgery or something. So if that helps you remember, hey. Next we have Chiku. Chiku. This means the planet Earth. The whole thing. Chiku. Next we have Dal. Dal means moon. And I know we already have Wol over here. And they both mean moon. They both mean month, for that matter. Dal is the word that you usually use with moon, like you're talking about the actual moon. Like scientifically, the moon in the sky that we study. And symbolically, Wol tends to represent the moon, but there's overlap. I mean, both are going to mean month, both are going to mean moon from time to time. It's not like, it depends on what kind of sentence you want to make. But we can talk about that another time. Next, we have Hwasong. Hwasong, star of fire. Mars. And it kind of makes sense because, Mars or Ares in the Greek, it's Mars and Ares, they were the god of war. You gotta be angry to start a war, yada, yada, yada. These dorky ways, if it helps you remember or not, it's worth a shot, okay? Next we have Moksang. Moksang. Okay. Mok, we've seen 3 times now. Over here it meant throat. Over here it meant wood. And over here it still means wood plus song, the star. Moksang, star of wood. And if you look at Jupiter, what does it kind of look like it's made out of? Kind of looks like someone took a block of wood and carved a sphere out of it. You see the wood grains right here? Makes sense to me. Next we got Tuso. Tuso. All right, star of the ground. It's kind of interesting because not just in Korean, but in English as well. There's several languages where we're going to have the Saturday connection. I just love it. All right. Then we have Jeonwong-song. Jeonwong-song. All right. So we've seen song before. That's nothing new. We have 3 syllables now. Okay. Wong. On the remaining 3. Wong is another hanja. It means king. This is what the hanja looks like, king. So these are king stars. So, Jeonwong-song. Jeon is an old-timey-ish word for sky. Not that you'll never hear it, but a more common word that you'll hear in modern Korean for sky is haneul. Haneul. Jeonwong-song. Star of the king of the sky. And if you look at Uranus, get a good look at Uranus. It sort of has this sky blue look on it. A lot of photographs, they'll photograph it as like a sea foam or an aquamarine. That's why it's my favorite planet. Because that's my favorite color, sea foam or aquamarine. And I love how everything rotates this way. It's so cool that all its moons and everything. I would just wish more planets did that. Anyway, what do we have? He Wong Song. He Wong Song. Okay. So we have Wong and Song again. He is going to be the sea. And of course, if we look at Neptune, what does it look like? Looks like a big ocean, so just completely covering the planet. Of course, that's not what it actually is. When you go to Quick Trip or someplace like that, and you go to the slushy machine, you go get your blue raspberry slushy, that's the stuff that comes out. Pretty darn close. That's what it's going to look like. We've got Myung Wong Song. Myung Wong Song. Myung. It's going to mean a few different things. It could be a counter word for people. It could be this. It could be that. In this case, it's going to mean darkness. So, the joke that my students are sick of, they beg me to stop. I tell them my Arena Rock album is named after the planet Pluto. Star, the king of darkness. Okay, I should stop. Myung Won Song. And of course, the hanja for darkness would be right here. Oh, by the way, Jun is this hanja right here. Okay. So, that is why I like teaching the days of the week alongside the planets, because there's so much overlap in meaning, and one is going to help you remember the other and vice versa. We did the body parts, we did days of the week, we did the planets. So we've gotten some pretty good practice on small words, 1, 2, 3 syllables a piece that are very practical and useful. Now, don't expect to see the hanja that you see here all the time. They pop up once in a while. It's not like every single sentence you see the ampersand or anything like that. But again, they're very useful to just be familiar with visually. You don't have to learn to pronounce the hanja by any means. Oh, while I am at it, because I kind of teased it in the thumbnail, give me a second. Okay. So this is kind of funny. Binu for soap. All right, so this is the hanja for B, and then we got another hanja for nu. In Japanese, actually, the Japanese version of this, it's actually pronounced koi. I think I did that right. Koi. And it means manure. But of course, in the original Chinese, it was referencing fat, which kind of makes sense because soap historically was made with fats, which makes my skin crawl. I'm vegetarian, so love me some modern day soap, that's for sure. And then we have, okay, now I don't really remember the pronunciation in either Japanese or Korean, but in Japanese it means dew, or like liquidy something. I have it written here that this in Chinese can also mean show. So, soap show. I don't know, but it's just worth getting familiar with that, okay? And I think that's all you need to know. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in another video. Have a good one.